Alright everybody, this is another edition of NASCAR TTC Garage Talk. Here is me, Touchdown Tennessee 16 and South of 10.
Hey guys, go.
Well, we're going to talk about what we thought of this previous NASCAR year, and I'm going to let y'all in on a couple of driver changes, teams, and all that good stuff. Thanks to old Jayski.com. And South of 10, why don't you tell them what you're going to take a second to talk about.
Well, first, this new point system, I gotta say, hats off to NASCAR. It makes for some awesome racing. I mean, who would have thought that this year's NASCAR season will end with a tie? Have to be a tiebreaker going to Tony Stewart due to him having the most wins. That's just awesome. But for me as a fan, being a Mark Martin fan, it was pretty much a downer of a year. But other than that, wow, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I have to agree that our new point system was a big win by NASCAR. Coming down to Homestead with 3 points separating them, that was something. And then Tony Stewart winning 5 races in the chase is just miraculous. He said before the chase started, he had said, "We don't deserve to make the chase. We might as well just give it to somebody that's gonna do something with that spot, and us just sit in it." Well, obviously they did something with that spot in the chase, and they went and won the championship, fighting off Carl Edwards all the way to the last lap by winning the race. Gave them the win, which is pretty awesome. But what's crazy about it is Darian Grubb was already announced that he would not be the crew chief after 2011, like 5 races before that. So there you have a crew chief that's not even going to return the next year and goes and wins the championship. I mean, that's almost like having turmoil within the team and you go and still get it done. I think that Greg Zipadelli is still, there's no word on if he'll be back with Joey Logano next season. I'm thinking that there's a possibility that he could be going to Stewart Haas. I mean, it's a big possibility. Tony Stewart won 2 championships with him. Won it back in the old Winston Cup Series and won in the Nextel Cup. I don't know. It's just a possibility that could happen. And what is your opinion on that, South 10?
Well, to get into depth on that, I want to say that when Tony Stewart won that first chase race, after he said that we're just taking up space, I said he's going to win the chase. Watch out. I had some friends of mine going, "What are you, crazy? He ain't done nothing all year long." I'm like, you wait and see. He's turning it on now. Boy, was I right. But the whole deal with his crew chief not going to be there, yeah, I've seen that. I have a suspicion that, they may change their mind, but if not, well, what about adding Gustafson? Because Casey Dean is going to drive the 5 car, and his crew chief is going to join him at the 5 car. So Allen is not going to be the crew chief next year. Wait, never mind. Excuse me. Allen's at Jeff Gordon. That's right. So
you mean Dale Jr.'s old crew chief?
Yeah, I'm thinking 09.
Yeah. I don't think that Dale Jr.'s old crew chief Lance McGrew. I don't think he'll go over to Stewart because Lance McGrew I don't think he's won a race with Dale Jr. or Mark Martin. There's a rumor that Darian Grubb might go and be head of competition at Stewart Haas Racing, but there's real no official word on that.
Yeah, so I seriously doubt that he will be joining Stewart Haas Racing now, but I was dead wrong about Mark Martin going to Stewart Haas part time next year anyway. So I've been wrong before.
Yeah, let's hear your side of that part of the story. I know you're real excited about his future at Michael Waltrip Racing.
Yeah, I'm about just having an extra hole in my head.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy about that either. Michael Waltrip Racing, I don't like the way they did David Ruderman, where they apparently he was fired by a text message kind of deal. Um, that wasn't right. Just the whole deal of Michael Waltrip Racing, they've won one or two races, I think two races since their existence, and one of them was because of a rain delay, and the other was David Ruderman being chased down by Kyle Busch, I think it was, back in 2000, 2010, I think, at Chicagoland. And even that, everybody was off pace that day. I just don't see. I just don't get why Mark Martin would want to go over there. David Ruderman, if he could get a good ride with like Richard Childress or somewhere, since he's actually been able to win a race in that junk of equipment they got over there, who knows what he could do.
Well, who won those races? Was it not David Ruderman that won both of them?
Yeah, it was.
And wasn't Noel on that bandwagon last year, calling him the franchise? And, well, that's some way to treat your franchise.
Yeah, it is. That's not right.
But I reckon that he's going, since Martin's going back to part-time, of course, I'm not going to be a part-time fan. When he was doing this part-time stuff, when he joined again racing, I was a Matt Kenseth fan. I reckon I'll be pulling for him again, full-time.
Yeah, Kansas has a legitimate chance of winning the chase next year as well, but we won't get too in depth with that today because we don't have forever to talk after talking about all the 2011 stuff. But next year, I think Gordon has a good bright year coming. He has a lot of momentum getting into it. Finished, I think, sixth in the chase. Eighth in the chase. Um, Junior has he has a good momentum going into next year after having a great improving year compared to his last two. I just think him and Steve Letarte, they're a winning combination. You're just yet to see. They just have some kinks to work out. And Jimmy Johnson. Last year I said no, he will not win the championship this year. I'm kind of scared of Jimmy Johnson. I'm not gonna lie, because what a better way to say than, hey, look what happened this year. We're gonna go get it next year. That scares me.
Yeah, you could be right, but I think this new point system could just get the better of him once again. But we have to wait till next year to see.
Yep, I'm real excited about the Daytona 500. It's one of my favorite races of the year. Just so much hype going into that race. It's one of the best. I love it. Um, Speed weeks are awesome. Testing coming up in January. We'll probably cover some of that with this show. We'll try to get you some of the highlights of what's going down there in Speed weeks in January. So this is going to be our last episode of the year. We want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll have to see what's on the horizon. If anything crazy happens out of the ordinary, we might do another show. But until January, this is Touchdown Tennessee 16, and
South of 10.
later, folks.